Good afternoon. The State Weather Bureau is placing Batanes under tropical cyclone wind signal number 1 due to Typhoon Gorio. In its 11 a.m. bulletin on Tuesday, August 12, Pag-asa says strong winds from the typhoon may bring minimal to minor impacts to life and property in Batanes. Pag-asa is not ruling out the possibility of raising signal number 2 over Batanes. Based on the bulletin, Gorio was last spotted some 560 kilometers east of Itbayat, Batanes. According to Pag-asa, the typhoon carries maximum sustained winds of 120 kilometers per hour and gustiness of up to 150 kilometers per hour. Heavy rain is forecast over Batanes until Wednesday, August 13 due to the typhoon. Pag-asa warns of localized flooding and possible landslides from the heavy rains. The Weather Bureau says Gorio may slightly intensify before making landfall over the eastern coast of Taiwan on Wednesday afternoon. Gorio is expected to leave the Philippine area of responsibility by Wednesday evening. President Bongbong Marcos believes the Philippine National Police is on the right track in regaining the trust of the Filipinos. The PNP celebrated on Tuesday, August 12, the 124th Police Service Anniversary. In his speech, the president lauds the PNP for keeping the crime rate at bay, but he admits that statistics alone will not allay the fears of the public.
As public servants, we do not ask people to celebrate statistics if their experiences tell a different story. And that's why we must regain the trust of the public through more decisive and responsive actions. And I believe the PNP is now on its right track.
During the program, PNP Chief General Nicolas Torre III demonstrates to the President the 5-minute response time strategy of the police force. According to the President, the 5 minutes can mean the difference between life and death of a caller asking for police assistance. He challenges the police force to ensure its swift response to rebuild the trust of the public. Marcos also tells the PNP to strengthen its internal security and pursue police personnel who twist the mission of serving and protecting the people. Marcos warns that investigations on unscrupulous police personnel will continue as his administration renewed its campaign against corrupt government officials.
We do not condone wrongdoing among those who are sworn to uphold the law and to protect the citizens of our republic. Inuulit ko, walang lugar ang katiwalian sa ating kapulisan.
Vice President Sara Duterte says she expects the House of Representatives to cut her office's proposed 903 million peso budget for 2026. In a chance interview on Monday, August 11, Duterte says she anticipates a similar outcome as in 2025 when the House slashed the office of the Vice President's proposed 2 billion budget to just 733 million pesos. She believes this to be the case since the administration hasn't changed. For 2026, the OVP initially proposed a budget of 733 million pesos, which the Department of Budget and Management later increased by around 70 million pesos. The OVP then requested another increase, which the DBM approved. This brought the OVP's proposed 2026 budget to 903 million pesos. When asked how her supposed habitual absence could affect the approval of the OVP's budget, Duterte rejects the claim and asserts that the accusation was baseless. She believes this sentiment comes from anti-Duterte people as she urges her critics to bring their accusations to a proper forum. Duterte then dares the lower chamber to also reveal the international travels of its members before accusing her of constant travel. The Vice President explains that she goes abroad to meet with Filipino communities who are frustrated with what's happening in the country. She also cites her visits to her father, former President Rodrigo Duterte, who is detained by the International Criminal Court in the Netherlands. Vice President Duterte's recent overseas trips have spanned several months, beginning in May when she traveled to the Netherlands. She also traveled to Malaysia and Australia in June, and then to the Netherlands and South Korea in July. Vice President Sara Duterte affirms her trust and confidence in attorney Nicholas Kaufman in handling the International Criminal Court case of her father, former President Rodrigo Duterte. In a chance interview on Monday, August 11, the Vice President says she trusts Kaufman because former President Duterte chose him. According to the Vice President, she will cooperate with a legal team as long as her father retains Kaufman as his lawyer. Former presidential spokesperson Harry Roque previously clashed with Kaufman. Roque reportedly sought the assistance of a Dutch lawyer to sue the Dutch government for facilitating the rendition of Duterte. Kaufman then characterized Roque's move as a crazy scheme and urged him to stay out of Duterte's case. The ICC currently has custody of the elder Duterte after he was arrested and sent to The Hague in the Netherlands. Former President Duterte is facing crimes against humanity charges over his administration's war against drugs. Former President Duterte's confirmation of charges before the ICC is set for September 2023. And these are the stories you need to know today. I'm Neil Mercado. Follow INQUIRER.net on Facebook, X, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Reddit. For more stories, visit INQUIRER.net. Good afternoon.